What's up, y'all? This is your boy, CEO, and I'm here with,
Alexia.
and we are the Behind the Struggle podcast. Now, some of you guys may already know us from our YouTube channel of the same name, Behind the Struggle, but this is our stab at going into the podcast realm or said space. So, because this is
Yeah, so you can hear us instead
alright.
of see us.
So, with that said, this is our first episode, so we kind of want to do a little bit of a reintroduction to you guys, so you guys can get reacquainted with us for the people who do know us, as well as the people who don't know us. So,
Yeah, because even the ones that follow my TikTok and YouTube, they're like, "Oh, you're starting a podcast? What's it about?" So I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you what it's about.
oh snap! All right, look at that. She gonna tell you. She gonna tell you. All right. So, with that said, I'm gonna Alexia go first. I'm a gentleman. My mother raised me right. So, Alexia, tell us a little bit about yourself. What's your background? What do you do? Like, where do you come from? Who are you? Who is Alexia? Let us know. Talk to us.
That's weird. Well,
It's a loaded question, right?
I guess I was born and raised in California. So originally a West Coast girl. And then I went to college in Pennsylvania. And then I went back to Cali for a bit. And then I moved to New York. I lived there for 11 or 12 years. And that brings us to present day. I love dogs, animals, but dogs specifically, especially mine. I have two puppies. They are 11 years old right now. Their names are Kiwi and Chaos. I need y'all to remember that. I am the oldest of four. I have three little brothers. And I don't know. What else do you want to know?
I don't know. What do you do for work? Well, what do you do now? Well, what do you do? What do you like to do?
Oh.
Stuff like that.
Oh. I used to bartend for a very long time. I was a bartender in New York for like 11 years. Retired from that, thankfully. Just because, I was over the toxicity of like taking everyone's money. Like, I'm over it. Now I want to make money the right way, humbling myself. So I'm a video technician in New York still. And I'm also a video producer with this rap artist. I don't know if you guys heard of him. His name is CEO. And I manage him and produce his music videos. You can check his work out at thisisceo.com. Thisisceo.com.
Remember, it's easy to remember. And Alexia, just for the shits and giggles, what's your nationality?
What?
People always asking, what are you?
I know, because I thought because you hear my voice, you don't like care. But every time someone looks at me, they're like, "Oh my gosh, what's your background?" And I'm like, do I look that crazy that everyone's like, "Wow, what are you?"
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess so, because I am Greek and Chinese, and besides my siblings, I haven't met another one. So, yeah, imagine what that looks like. Or if you want to know, you can just follow me on TikTok.
If you want to know, I mean, you can see I have photos right there, y'all.
Yeah, and videos.
At Sexia on Instagram. That's it.
Sexia. Yep, that's my
Yeah.
official Instagram and TikTok.
Yeah.
But
All
yeah,
right,
that's
cool.
me. Quick intro.
That's Alexia, y'all. One and only. All right. Some of y'all know me. Some of y'all don't. I am CEO. How I got that name is literally the initials of my government name, Christopher E. Ortiz. I'm going to put the whole thing out there because I don't need y'all to know my business like that. Wow. Okay. First of all,
I'll tell you
that's
guys
how
later.
I got the name. Wow. Okay. Also, the rap acronym for it would also be competitor, eliminating obstacles, and then corporate executive officer, because I'm a boss. Now, with that said,
Wait, what's your background?
I'm about to tell y'all. With
Oh.
that said, I went to school at the School of Visual Arts. I have my bachelor's degree in film and animation. I have a background in visual art. So as a child, I used to draw a lot. I used to watch a lot of Dragon Ball Z. As any child from the 90s used to come home, watch Toonami. I guess I coined the term for myself. I'm somebody who's I use the term ghetto geek. I'm somebody who has lived in the projects and not so good
That was
neighborhoods. I
obviously a
know
self-given nickname, you guys.
I know people from that realm. I know people that have been killed. I have friends who are still locked up. But I'm also somebody who never really myself got involved in it. I never joined a gang. I never sold drugs. I never tried to do any of that crazy shit. When I was young, I was a certain kind of way, and but my mom moved me to Pennsylvania because of that in the year 2000, and due to that reason, I got involved in geek culture, so I played Yu-Gi-Oh! I used to draw. I used to, watch
Nerd. No, I'm just
Dragon
kidding.
Ball Z and stuff. I'm familiar with comics and shit. I like going to the movies to watch superhero stuff. But, and other films as well. Like, I just have a fascination just about filmmaking. So I'm kind of somebody that lives like kind of on that line. Like I'm kind of a little bit of both worlds. So with that said, that's a little bit of my background, my nationality. I'm Haitian and Ecuadorian, and I'm a rapper. If y'all didn't already know, and I like to collaborate with other creatives. I have a clothing line called Unbranded that I have another business partner that I went to college with. Um, I started the Behind the Struggle YouTube channel with Alexia. Um, I'll go into a little bit later how I got into rap, and now we're here doing the podcast. I just like to collaborate with others, be creative, work on projects, mostly music and film, and I like to hear other people's story, which is why we're here now in the podcast world. So,
Podcast. So hopefully you guys like to
podcast.
hear our voices.
Hopefully, I like to hear my voice.
Obviously.
Wow. The next thing I'm gonna let Alexia take the floor now is tell the story at least from your perspective on how we met each other. Like,
Oh,
how do we know each other,
that's
Alexia?
easy. Well, all right. So I think it was like about maybe 12 years ago. I was going to college in PA, and I used to work at a casino. I was a cocktail waitress, and Chris was a barback. He was a barback at the same bar that I was working at.
Now
So
I'm back in these bars.
exactly. So we used to work together like forever ago, and I was graveyard shift, and I don't remember if you were graveyard or like
I definitely
Oh,
was.
okay. So well, sometimes you did different shifts, right? So whatever. I was always graveyard, so we worked together. But I actually was friends with his sister, like legit. Like we hung out outside of work and everything. So his sister, I think, like one day was like, "Oh, that's my brother, like that barback over there," and I was like, "Oh, okay, like cool, whatever, right?" Um, but because I hung out with her, more frequently, I think I saw Chris. I think I saw you a couple times outside of work as well. So I think we're friends on Instagram or whatever. So like fast forward a couple years, like neither of us worked at the casino anymore, but every time we like met up after like a couple years, I don't know, he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm a rapper," and I was like, "Really? Like, would you let me hear some of your stuff?" And he would show me, and I was like, "Wait, this is actually good. Like, you wrote this? Like, what?" And then like obviously that progressed, and like every time I saw him, he's like, "Do you wanna listen to my raps?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So it was always like new music or whatever, and I was like, "Oh, I'm getting the exclusive like car speaker like you know sound or whatever." But it was always like lyrical and always like actually pretty good. So like that happened maybe 3 or 4 times like randomly throughout the course of like I don't know 6 years, and then his sister got married. I saw him there too, but like kind of like I don't know, like I don't want to be like weird. Like it was always we're always kind of around, I guess, like friends. I don't know, and then so one day I was like, your music's like really good. Like what are you doing? Why don't you have any music videos? And he was like, I don't know. I don't have a team. And I was like, well, I make videos. Let me make a music video for you. And then he was basically like, why don't you just be my manager? And I was like, because I don't know how to do that. And he was like, I don't care. And I was like, okay, say less. And then we opened an LLC called On Track Entertainment. And I have him contractually signed underneath me, pause.
Wow.
And he so I've made like 5 of his music videos, and we've tried to started putting him like on live performances, and then COVID hit, so since then, now we were doing YouTube this whole time, and now we're doing podcasts. So, I
Don't
mean,
forget the battles.
oh yeah, the rap battles that I curated.
Murs, if you're listening.
But yeah, I mean it's been a trip, but I think that's how we met. Am I wrong?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, omitted some details.
I'm wrong. I didn't omit anything. I just don't remember every detail.
That's all right. Luckily for you, I have a good memory. Memory of an elephant.
Okay.
Okay, so are you done? I don't want.
What did I leave out?
Are you done? I don't want to.
Don't act like you're all polite and non-interruptive now because you're being recorded.
Wow, someone's triggered.
Look at him behaving, you guys, on the podcast.
Look, my mother raised me right.
In real
Anyway.
life, he's out here interrupting me every 2 seconds.
Oh, wow. All right. Anyways, so I met Alexia in about, I think the year was 2012 at that time. I had just moved back to Pennsylvania. I had just graduated from college, and I had left New York and came back to the godforsaken state of PA that I do not like.
God, some people like it.
Hey, look, and I'm gonna say this: if you enjoy Pennsylvania, hey.
Stay
More power
away.
to you.
Just kidding.
I'm not. Stay away from me. No hate. To each his own. Just PA is not for me. I never really had any good experiences there. And I'm gonna leave it at that. But aside from that, not gonna drag on PA. If you love it, you love it. I used to work at a warehouse, and then I transferred over into the beverage department. And I was at South Service Bar. They had an opening, so I went over there, got the midnight shift. And my sister was telling me about it. She told me how much money they make. And I was like, say less. I want to make money, whatever. So,
money.
She's introducing me. So she's introducing me to, like, all the girls. But, all the girls are kind of like, whatever. We're trying to get our drinks, trying to get our money, blah, blah, blah. And, I think a week into it, I had seen Alexia. And there was some drama going on. Not going to go in detail, but they were gossiping about some shit about her, but every time she came in, no one was saying anything, but every time she left, she would say something, and I said something, and I kind of gave my advice to them, and they're like, oh, yeah, definitely someone should say that to her, and I was like, you guys should. You're her friends. You should say that. And then every time she came back in, they wouldn't say nothing. They just continued gossiping. So because I was kind of like a
Pennsylvania for you.
Because, I was kind of like a fly on the wall. I kind of just, like, saw that. And it kind of gave me a bad, how can I say, introduction to who these people were as far as, like, their character. So later that night, I was just mopping the floor and shit. And Alexia, I guess, just couldn't hold it back anymore and just started crying. She felt so bad for me. She's like, here's this man working so hard, mopping these floors all alone.
You are doing the most right now.
She's like, he's working so hard. Here's a tip. No, so she was crying over some dumb dude. I'm not going to give his name because I'm not going to give any power to people that don't matter. But I basically gave her my words of wisdom as I would have done to anybody that I saw in that situation. After that, we kind of formed a loose friendship. We just talked whenever we worked, and because we ended up being on the same shift, we had conversations about government conspiracies, hip-hop, and just I found out, she was a very good conversationalist, very intelligent, and not to coin the term for the Transformers, but more than meets the eye.
Not like them other girls.
Wow. So after that, Alexia was like, fuck this, I'm out. I hate Pennsylvania so much, I'm going back to California. And she left. And I was like, wow.
I did.
I was like, there goes my friend. Goodbye.
Bye.
So she left, and we used to talk on the phone every now and then.
Did?
Yeah, we did. I remember.
Okay.
It's getting weird.
Okay.
But yeah, she used to call me because she was going over there and she was trying to get a job like in editing in the film industry. And I knew a couple friends that lived over there that worked in some of the studios. And we would just and we would talk, we would catch up. I would share her some of my raps over the phone, and we just would talk about other things. And then as life happens, we just got busy and then kind of like lost contact, but still had each other's numbers. Just didn't talk as frequently. I moved back then to New York, and I found out Alexia had came back because I said fuck boy that she was dealing with. She had to take his ass to court. Fun fact, y'all, do not ever try to screw over Alexia. She would take you to court, she will sue you, and she will win. I'm letting you know this right now. Letting you know this. Anyway, this chick is about her business. Anyways, moral of the story, she won. She got what she needed. She moved back to Queens. I was living in Long Island, and every now and then we hung out. We would talk, catch up, but it was really like touch go. It was like maybe every couple of months or every other year. Really don't remember. But after that, we re-met at my sister's wedding, and I remember we were all people were on the dance floor dancing and whatnot. I was walking back to my table to get a drink, and there I saw Alexia sitting there all alone. She was wearing this like pinkish tan kind of colored dress.
All right, don't be weird.
I'm just saying, and I was like, "Damn, who's this?" And I just,
What the?
nah, so I walked up there. I was like, "Hey, what's up, stranger?" I was like, "I didn't know you were here." So we were talking, and then we're basically saying, "Yo, we should definitely connect." Like we're both in Queens, like both in New York. Like why are we not? Why don't we see each other? And we both just were really busy people, so we used to play around and just be like, "Oh shit, like I'll see you at my funeral. Like the next time I'm gonna be available, whatever." And
Oh, I don't remember that either.
yeah, and then one day she just hit me up randomly out the blue. I think she had just quit her job or got fired. One of the two. I don't know.
I've never been fired. What are you talking
Okay,
about?
so all right, so then I stand corrected. She quit. She just left that bitch. Anyway, she hit me up literally that day and was like, "Hey, what are you doing tonight?" And I was like, "Hey, I'm at work." I was like, "But I'll be free at 7 if you want to meet me in Long Island, so I can get ready." So she met me. We went out. We're chilling, catching up.
This is
Then
my first time hearing this for me too, you guys. So we're all in this together.
Wow, I don't know how the first time for her. She was there. So, anyways, we were catching up, talking. We did a little mini golf. Then after that, we were kind of sharing my music. We were in the car chilling, and I was sharing her some of my music, and she was just very adamant and very like supportive about it. I guess just really believed in my talent, which meant a lot to me. Not saying I've never had anybody who's believed in my talent, but no one really like able to just kind of like really fully support it, like she has. So she said that she does videos. Why don't I have any videos? Yada yada. You heard that side of the story, and so I told her, hey, I have this song that I want to do, and I'm in the middle of recording it. I was like, I would like to do this as the first song, but also I'm starting a clothing line and I need models for the photo shoot. Would you mind modeling? So kind of worked out. We did that. Then Alexia came up with a script for the whole music video, and she just really showed to me how dedicated she was, and that it wasn't just all talk. It wasn't just like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna say a bunch of nice things and not actually be about it. So we did that, and I told her to be my manager, and she's like, I don't know shit about being a manager. And I was like, it's cool. We'll learn together, because for me, what's most important is actually having somebody in your corner that actually has your best interest at heart. So,
You see, chimps? I don't know.
what? I was like waiting for the punchline.
I don't know.
So, with that said, that's basically, how we kind of formed this bond that we have, and now we have our YouTube channel, we have a podcast, we have entertainment company, and yeah, so this is us now. This is how we've done it. That's how we kind of got into this. But I'm not going to bore you guys anymore with that shit. We're going to go on to the next question. Alexia, I want you to tell us, what was your introduction to hip-hop, or how did you get into hip-hop music?
Oh, damn. I mean, I feel like we could do a whole like other episode about that, but I guess like
It's crazy.
long story short, because it is a long story.
We got time today, y'all. We got time.
When I was growing up, I wasn't allowed to ingest any form of media. I wasn't allowed.
Were you a Jehovah's Witness?
No, I was Chinese.
crazy.
I wasn't allowed to watch TV. I wasn't really allowed to have MySpace or whatever, but I did anyway. So like the only time I got any music was like the radio, and that was like when I wasn't home, pretty much, or with headphones on. So
Were you not home a lot?
I tried to never be home. Like I was at school,
Oh.
did extracurricular activities, sports, like anything I could do to not be home. Anyway,
Oh, okay. I was about to take a jab. I was about to be like, she belonged to the streets.
wow. Meanwhile, I'm like excelling 3.9 GPA. Like,
Oh, okay. Little flex right there.
Nah.
Nah, I don't belong to the streets.
the streets belong to me. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, so my friends, obviously, as you know, teenagers listen to music all the time. So I had a bunch of friends, I guess, listening to all types of shit, and I had one friend who was on my soccer team that was showing me, I don't know, songs, and like I heard "Cleaning Out My Closet" by Eminem, and I was like, this motherfucker's spitting. Like, I mean, I was like, what, like 12 or whatever, but I was like, damn, like I can relate. But not relate like my mom doesn't do drugs and I don't live in a trailer, but like I don't know, like the emotion that he like had in his voice and like the way he delivered and like the lines that he had, I was like, damn. So I actually like kind of looked up the rest of that album. That was like the first and last time I ever did that. And then my friend's dad burned a CD for me of that what was it? Curtain Call or the Eminem
Nah,
show.
that's the Eminem
The
show.
Eminem show. I'm
No, put
sorry.
some respect, yeah.
No, because the album had him on the stage with big ass curtains and the whole album.
They were red, right?
Yeah. Anyway, so
Yeah,
12-year-old me
Eminem
was
show,
like,
yeah.
this is so cool. But I had like the, you know, the non-curse version, like the child version. Anyway, so that CD went hard, pause. And I literally like memorized every line. Like it was crazy. So I guess that would be my introduction to hip hop. And then after that, I mean, I like loved Eminem for his talent, but I also grew this like appreciation for like lyrical like rap. So that was the intro. Anyway, yeah, long story short.
Would you say that hip hop is your preferred or favorite genre of music?
I mean, yes, but also like there's whole like I don't even know what to call it. Not even R&B, but like this whole new genre these days of like club hits, but not like, you know what I mean? Like just whatever you can dance to, whatever sounds good. Like those songs, like no, not like house, like Tyga, like that, like so like that or
Oh,
rap,
okay.
yeah. Like I would say rap, hip hop, or like club, like feel good, like go out and dance.
Okay. All right. Okay. Cool. Well, my introduction to hip hop was a little bit different than Alexia's. I wasn't,
Well, you're not Chinese.
definitely not, and I wasn't on a soccer team. Like, oh my God, this nigga spitting, speaking to my emotions.
Are you making fun
I
of
was-
me?
So, how I got into hip hop, long story, I grew up in the gritty streets of Queens, I lived in Jamaica, South Side, all over the fucking place. Anyways, in New York, this is before, we had all these Bluetooth shit and systems. People used to walk around the big ass speakers and shit. So I would hear rap music being played, but I heard like Will Smith getting jiggy with it, na 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 na. My mom used to play that stuff. My father used to listen to a lot of disco, Spanish music. My mom used to listen to a lot of disco and then music from Haiti, like French music. So I didn't know too much hip hop until like my cousins, and they were like really big into like Mob Deep. They used to try to test me and be like, oh, like how many members are there in Mob Deep and what's the name of them? And when I didn't know, they would make fun of me. So I'll be like, okay, cool. I gotta remember, like it's Havoc and Prodigy.
Make fun of
But,
you or like do something like physically to you?
I mean, we got into fights, but we were nothing like that over there. Would just make fun of me because they would just try to like, oh, like you try to
I
act
feel like that
you
wouldn't be
know.
enough incentive.
It was for
I'd
me
be
because
like,
I
don't
don't
give a
like but like I like the music, and during like high school, I had friends who listened to it. My cousin John, who literally looks just like me, he's like my double ganger. Oh, we used to joke around that
Doppelganger.
we were switch at birth. So thank you,
That's how
Alexei.
you pronounce that.
Um, so he used to tell me about this rapper Nas, and he's like, "Oh yeah, this guy wrote his whole life like in a notebook." And I never really like took time because my mom wouldn't give me access to listen to that kind of music because I had all these curses, so she didn't want me to listen to any of it.
Oh, yeah, you see? There's something we had in common, I
You know, so
guess.
my mom wouldn't let me listen to that kind of stuff. But you know, as I would play soccer in the park, I would hear Jay-Z's "It's the Hard Knock Life for Us." So I was like familiar, but you know, it was just kind of something I heard in the distance. It wasn't something that I like consumed for myself, and I was like, "Oh, let me analyze this." And it wasn't until I was in high school, like 8th grade, I was on the bus, and the bus driver, thank God to her, she used to play hip hop music on our way to school in the morning. So like some kids would make like a little mixtape. She played it, and she used to play this one song by DMX, "What's My Name," and the one that he had with Cisco, "What These Bitches Want From a Nigga," and he used to say all the names of all the girls, and I used to sit there like, "Oh man, this shit is tough." So I, my next door neighbor, he was a big Jay-Z fan, but also a big DMX fan, and he let me borrow the CD, and then he gave me another CD, which I didn't know about. This was called the Marshall Mathers LP. So the first hip hop album I ever listened to was DMX, and then there was X, and then I listened to the Marshall Mathers LP, and at that point I was hooked. I was like, "What is this music? I understand the language, and they saying some crazy shit, and the beats was tough." Still, my favorite song to this day, I think, by Eminem is "Criminal." That shit had a profound impact on me. But anyways, I got into it like that, and then 50 Cent kind of came into the picture, and anyone who knows I was in the hip hop scene at that time, 50 Cent came in like a tidal wave. Like, you could not know who he was or hear his music. It was all over the place. He was the biggest thing, and still to this day, I have never seen anything like that in my life in the music industry have that much of an impact. But that's another story. Anyways, with that said, he had the whole Geo in the crew. One of my friends, Jason, he wanted us to make our own little team called Supreme Records.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, and I didn't know shit about rap at all. I was just a fan. I just was consuming it, so I didn't know anything. So
How old were you?
I was like 16 at the time.
Okay.
Yeah, so this because DMX had then just came out with his other album called The Great Depression.
I'm DED dead.
So my friend Jason was like, "All right, yo, we're gonna form our own group called Supreme." He had a computer. I didn't have a computer, so he was like, "I'm gonna download the beats, and I'm gonna give y'all the CD, and I need y'all to write rhymes to the beat, and we're gonna record it. We're gonna put out a little mixtape." So it was me, Winston, Shamik,
Send link now.
Chris Collins, and Jason. And Aaron. So he told us to go home, write some rhymes, and then to come back and record it. I didn't know shit on Uzman. So DMX, back in the day, y'all probably don't know this, they used to have like hidden tracks after the last song on the album. If you waited a minute, it will keep playing. There will be like 3 hidden songs. So DMX had a hidden song on that album, and I still remember to this day. He said, "Niggas call me gun on beats cause I life shit quicker than those, shooting big hoes, ripping your clothes." He's like, "I break the fingers that you write with, mouth that you recite with, real life shit." So whatever. So I remember that shit. I wrote that shit down, and then we went back in person to go rap it. So everyone's going in a circle, and that's how I got my name. I gave myself the name CEO, and it was like, it was my initials. So they're like, "All right, CEO, you go." And I was like, so I started rapping this verse that I stole. And they were like, "Oh shit, this nigga could rap.
That you
This nigga
stole.
got
I'm
bought."
dead.
Yeah, and I was like, I guess for me it was the feeling that I got, that recognition, because like I said, I come from drawing, and any drawing that I did, it was like, "Oh cool, this guy could draw. Could you draw something for me?" It was never like, "Oh my god, look at this drawing." It was just like, "Oh, can you do this for me?" But when I rapped, it was like, "Oh, this dude is the truth," and my moment came crashing down as soon as it came. Because then Uzman was like, "Man, that's from the DMX album, The Great Depression. That's track number 18. And they were like, "Oh, this nigga's a biter." So they used to call me a biter. And I was like, fuck. But after that, because of the feeling that I got, I taught myself how to rhyme. So I used to sit down and I used to study the records, and I taught myself the 16 bar format, and then how long a hook is and how to write on beats. And because I used to write a little bit of poetry, I kind of transitioned that into rhyming, and then I just kind of kept up with it, and then I just got better than all of them at the time. For a 16-year-old, they all stopped rapping, and then I started another thing on my boy Joe. He used to go by the name J Murder. So then we used to like record songs, and the cool thing about that was the neighborhood actually would listen to our music. So we'd be on the block playing basketball, and sometimes we'd hear a car driving by through the neighborhood, and they'd be playing our music. And we'd be like, oh shit. Like, it was just a cool feeling as a kid. Like, you hear other cars bumping your songs. So, and ever since that, I was hooked, but I kind of just got deeper and deeper into hip hop. I had my godfather and other people who just put me onto the game and the culture and just the history of how it all happened and the people who started it. And since then, I've just kind of been in this game, doing what I got to do as an independent artist and constantly improving my craft and trying to tell my story. So that's how I got into hip hop, y'all.
Sheesh.
Anyway, so now that you guys know a little bit about us, how we met, how we got into the culture of hip hop, I actually want to add a little question here before we get into the last one. Alexia, what does hip hop mean to you?
What do you mean by that? Other than like it being a form of entertainment.
I guess you kind of answered the question right there.
I mean, it's more than that, but like what do you mean by that question?
What does it mean to you? Like, how does it play a role in your life? Like your appreciation for the music, the artist, whatever. Like,
I mean, I'm not a rapper. I cannot rap, so I am not one to, I guess, openly like um reprimand anyone that does something that I cannot do. But I think that a lot of artists, these especially these days, have literally forgotten that rap is rhythm and poetry. They like forget one or both of those items in these songs, and they still go hard pause and like for some reason, get a bunch of plays and they make $1 million for like bullshit. So like it's just kind of crazy that like the art of it is now more so like how well you are like in social media, not so much how talented you are. So that sucks. But like if we stuck to the core, then, I appreciate hip hop for what its history and like what it does and what it brings to like our generation. Is that what you mean?
yeah, man, I guess. I mean, I don't really think there's a right or wrong answer. I'm just trying to find out what hip hop means to you in your life. That's all. For me,
I mean, since working with you, obviously there's a lot more going on. I like it. I'm paying more attention. I'm more in tune with every song that I hear. Like, but I mean, it's a genre of music, So it's like, what is it to you?
I mean, hip hop to me is everything. It's
Okay, like
sorry, but I can't really see my life without hip hop. Sometimes I see some of those memes like, oh, you could live in this house for free and have this much money, but you can never listen to rap again. I'm like, then I put me in the projects, baby, because
all right, you were oddly specific with that one.
well, I've seen memes like that. But anyways, yeah,
Something happened to you? Are you okay?
help me. No, yeah, hip hop though to me is everything. It's my life, but I think for me, and it's not even just being an artist. And I spoke about this with you guys, with a couple other friends. I think a lot of people get the misconception that, and hopefully this podcast can help bring awareness to that, is that hip hop is just a genre of music. That it's just, oh, like you have pop, you have rock, you have country, you have reggae, and then you have hip hop. And that's not the case at all. Hip hop is a way of life. It's a culture. It's not. It's
Oh,
not.
okay.
It's not just the rap. It's the way that you talk. It's the way that you think. It's the way that you dress. It's the. It's the world that you inhabit. The people that are around you. And I just love what hip hop is and what it represents. Obviously, since nowadays has been so commercialized and marketed. I feel like it's so far removed from the essence, but you still have artists who keep to the essence of what it is, the message, the rhythm, the poetry, like lyrics that actually matter, something that's thought provoking. Like me as a kid, my mom and dad were always busy working, and in school I wasn't really always the best student. I wasn't like Alexia. I didn't have a 3.9 GPA, but
Oh my God, here we
but it's
go.
alright. But I learned a lot from hip hop music. Like some words that I never heard before, I learned from rap songs, and I like found out what the definition was, and got to like experience like the creativity
Yeah,
that
you do
people
that
can
by
have.
reading books, Chris.
Shut up. Anyways, like I said, I wasn't the best student. Anyways, so I like came to appreciate the creativity that came from that at such a young age, and because of this, and I see how hip hop plays a role in other people's lives and just the culture of it. For me, hip hop is everything. It's big part of my life. It's I consider myself to be hip hop. But
All right.
wh-
Thanks for that super targeted question.
yeah, no problem. Obviously I can see Alexia is not hip hop. Not joking. She definitely is. She's just different kind. She's more vanilla. Joking.
Wow.
All right, but that aside, y'all. Basically, what we want to do, or what the point of this podcast is, so you guys kind of know what to expect from us. So as you can see, we're primarily a hip hop podcast, but we also have interests that go beyond, the realm of hip hop. So it doesn't just end there. We're both fans of film, Marvel, art, technology, artificial intelligence, alien life. Definitely going to be doing some social commentary on things that we see going on in the world around us. And we also want to be interviewing established and unestablished artists to hear their stories and their struggles.
So if you like what you hear, please follow, subscribe, check our Instagrams out also, and my TikTok.
Wow. Yeah, my Instagram is the real CEO. And you can follow all my links and all my music and media on thisisceo.com.
Facts. And my TikTok is at Sexia, and my Instagram is at Lexia, like Alexia, at Lexia underscore Lou, Lou.
How'd you get that name of Sexia?
It was a nickname, like in high school, really stupid.
Oh, okay. So you just kind of kept it, kind of rolled with it.
Well, I was like, oh, that's kind of cute. And I just made my Twitter that name. And then I was like, oh, let me keep it, so you could find me everywhere. So I don't like changing my name. Like, those people that change their name every like 2 days. Like, I don't want anyone to search me because what? Like, why? Like, doesn't make any sense.
Oh, all right. To which his own. I just wondered. Thank you for the origin story.
Anyway, but yeah, so I noticed too, not every podcast, obviously, but a lot, and a lot of the more popular ones are actually very toxic. So I would love if Chris and I were able to bring you, I guess, our take on certain situations as well as our personalities, but in a very non toxic way, so that I guess people can get, I guess both sides of the coin, and then they can maybe finally make a decision for how they want to proceed by themselves rather than getting like all this toxic information shoved down their throat. And then, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, it sounds like I'm talking about something very specific, but it
Indeed.
actually works for every season that we have in mind. So I just want to bring like a non-toxic like conversation to the podcast world and open the table for that.
I feel like Alexia's holding something in her back pocket that she's not going to reveal until the day of. And I'm going to be like, oh, surprise.
That's usually how it works with me. Like Westworld, I'm like 2 episodes in advance. Anyway, um, so I don't know. I figured that I figured we would do a little personality test for fun, so that you guys could get to know us on a deeper level. But before we get into that, because there's like a million personalities out there, and I didn't find one on Facebook. I don't have a Facebook. Um, I asked a couple fans like what I should put in the podcast, and they gave me some just like really quick like questions. So I'm just gonna throw a couple of them out there for fun. You know what I mean?
All right. Let's see.
So easy, right? Dog versus cat. Who would you pick, Chris? Dog or cat?
Dog all day.
Why?
I love dogs. That's it.
All right. That's it.
I mean, if you want me to get more specific, I mean, I don't have.
I mean, you don't gotta talk for an hour, but like,
All right, fine. I'll go a little bit more detail. I don't have a thing against cats, but my preference is dogs. I mean, I grew up with animals, always had dogs in my family, had a few cats, but I've always just found dogs to be a bit more affectionate and fun.
all right, fine. I accept that answer. Thank you. Holy shit.
No problem. What about you, Alexia? Cats or dogs?
Dogs all day. Actually, cats like low key, like kind of scare me. Not like
Here we go.
spooky scary. Like, I don't know. I have this whole theory, which I might get into if you listeners are interested, that cats are literally existing in the fourth dimension.
I
And
know,
that messes me up, and I don't want.
Guys, this is spoiler. Her third eye is opening. Alexia, save that for another season.
I prefer dogs. I prefer dogs.
Thank you.
All right, so really quickly, another one. Sunrise or sunset? Take your time.
Yeah, I never really thought of it. So
All right, so while you think, I'm going to let you know, I'm a sunset person 1,000 times. And the only reason is because I cannot wake up early. So if anyone's like, it's romantic, let's watch the sunrise. Fuck no, I'd rather sleep. I'm not waking up to watch no sunrise. But I'm already awake. So if I'm going to watch a sunset, fine.
All right. Well, she gave her answer. I would say I'm more of a sunrise person. Not that
Yeah, I mean, you wake up at 5 a.m., so.
Yeah, but while my days off, I don't wake. I try not to wake up early. I try to sleep in, but I'm trying to like visualize it, like me in the moment. And usually, more times than not, when the sun rises, there isn't a lot of people up early. So there's a more of a calm, like a peacefulness, like nobody's bothering you. And so I feel like you kind of you get to have that time for yourself and you really get to appreciate it. But, every day when we're coming home from work or busy with our lives, how many of us really get a chance to like really sit and appreciate the sunset? We don't. We really don't. We're either on the phone, someone's calling us, we're at a bar, or coming home from work, stuck in traffic. We're not really appreciating it. So that's why I would say sunrise, because it's a moment of serenity. It's the start of a new day.
Oh, I'm unconscious during that, so.
Obviously.
All right, so any like particular pet peeves?
Oh, all right. I'm going to say one, and I hate saying it because people always do this shit, but whatever. I hate repeating myself.
What?
Shut the fuck up.
Well, so what do you mean people always do this? You hate when they repeat themselves too?
No, when I say that, my pet peeve, they always do what? And they make me repeat myself.
But you didn't.
I know, but I knew it was coming. That's what people always do.
How is that a pet peeve if you're the one initiating that conversation?
Shut up. You just asked me a question. You just said, what is your pet peeve? Said I hate repeating myself.
Look, you just did it. I didn't even ask you. You already did it. Manipulation 101, ladies.
Yo. And she says she wants to make a non-toxic podcast or to be toxic, y'all. Look at this.
You're toxic.
Episode 1. Toxicity.
Look at you pointing fingers. Is there a mirror over there? Like, chill.
There's a nice mirror here. But yeah,
Right, that's a really petty pet peeve.
That's one of my pet peeves. The other one is, I would say, two. Is people who don't plan or communicate properly. I don't like that. I hate it if I ask somebody, hey, what are you doing next week, Friday? And they're like, bro, I don't even know what I'm doing tomorrow. I'm like, what is your life? Like, you don't You don't know what's going on a week from now. Like, there's no structural organization.
Really? I've said that to you several times.
Well, to me, it's just,
Wow.
if I tell you something, like, it's not even a target at you because you're pretty good. If I tell you, hey, like, let's do something Saturday, like, you know the date, you know the time. Like, you have somewhat of, like, your bearings. Like, you know what day of the week it is, and you have a sense of time. You're always punctual. But other people, like, I just cannot make plans with
I don't know
at
if that'd
all.
be considered a pet peeve. Like, that's kind of like more serious. Pet peeves are just like stupid things that, like, you know, you specifically don't like.
All right, I guess I took it too deep.
Yeah,
Pause.
pause.
But what I will say then is this: I have a pet peeve about people who kind of like leave messes behind that are kind of messy.
Okay. I mean, I'm sure there's a bunch of pet peeves, but like on the spot, that's what you just came up with now. So that's fine.
Yeah, yeah. All right, what about you, Alexia? What are your
I mean,
pet
I'm
peeves?
sure I have a million as well, but
What are your peeve pets?
what does that even mean? I literally, whenever I get asked that question, the same answer comes to my head. I don't know why. So I don't know why. Also, I cannot stand when people park or wait at a red light with enough space for another car and a half in between. You know what I mean? Or they park where like two cars could fit, but they park in the middle. So like or if they're sitting in a red light and they're so far behind the car in front of them that another car could fit there. I don't know why. It like literally grinds my gears. Like I'm like, why? Scoot up. I don't know why. Like
I'm with you on that
oh,
shit.
okay. There's a lot of driving pet peeves, but so for some reason it's literally like when they at the red light, I'm like, oh, scoot up. So I don't know. I also cannot stand like when people cannot like spell when they text me, but more so because like there's autocorrect.
Grammar police
So
over
it's
here.
literally like autocorrect like didn't save you. Like what are you doing with your thumbs? Like I just can't. It's hard to talk to you like when you can't spell. Like I don't know. All right.
Yo, I'm gonna say this since you bringing that up. There have been times where you've texted me and it shit ain't make no fucking sense. But I let it slide. I'm like, I get the gist of what you're trying to say. I'm not like,
That is
grammatically,
false.
this is what it's
That is
supposed to
false.
be.
If that ever did
I got
happen,
receipts, yo. I got
no,
receipts, yo.
show me
I got
them now,
receipts,
because
yo.
then autocorrect was doing me no favors, and I would tell you that autocorrect's fucking me up. Don't ever come at me with lies.
Oh.
Anyway, okay. So two more really quickly. Don't divulge. These are just like quick so that our fans get to know us. Fans, lol.
got it.
What is your current priority? Not your biggest, your current priority.
I'm gonna let you go first. I gotta think about this.
Okay. So, I mean, I'm always working on several things at once, but I want to say right now my current priority is obtaining this land that I don't want to give too much information about and starting a new venture, a new business. Like I'm doing a bunch of other things obviously, and my dogs are always my priority, but currently right now upon recording this podcast, that is like very like high top of my list.
Okay. What was the question again?
What is your current priority?
My current priority right now for myself is just setting myself up to be financially liberated.
Okay.
That's one of my biggest. This is why I can just be free to do what I want, when I want, where I want.
Oh, like someone you know?
That's it.
I'm kidding. Okay, so last one, and then we'll get into the personality test. Tell me a fear that you've actually got over. All right, I'll give you some time to think
Thanks. Appreciate you.
because I just threw that on you.
Pause.
But oh my god. Well, I mean, a fear that I've gotten over, I guess I'd have a couple, but without like having too much time to think myself about this, I used to be literally like deathly afraid of flushing a toilet on an airplane. Like literally beyond afraid. Like the flush is so violent, and on an airplane it sounds like that shit is just opening up and sucking all your whatever out and letting it go into the sky. Like it sounds crazy. I used to be afraid of flushing. So I like never wanted to go on an airplane. Like if I ever had to go pee, I would hold it until the freaking plane landed and go in the airport because the airplane toilets are scary.
Wow,
Anyway,
that is a
um
interesting fear.
now that I am decades older, I'm not afraid of it
How'd
anymore,
you
but
overcome that
the
fear?
only I flushed a toilet on an airplane. And I mean, it was still kind of intimidating because it was violent, but it wasn't like I didn't think I was gonna get sucked in. I was too big to go in there now. So like, I'm over it because like I jumped and I into the into the bathroom and I just did it. So
I
there
like
you
the
go.
rationale. Like I'm too big to get sucked up in it now. So based on that logic,
That's pretty much the only reason I'm not
on
afraid
that logic,
anymore.
I'm good. I know it can't take me.
Yeah.
All right. I guess for me is the fear that I've overcome is being able to initiate having uncomfortable or awkward conversations. I used to not do that because I didn't want to, I guess, ruin the levity of things or interrupt how things were going. But I would realize as time went on that I would start feeling frustrated with some things and I would be holding on to stuff and things that was left unspoken. So now I just say how I feel, or I will have the conversation. Maybe I'll think about it a little bit, but I will have the talk. I will tell somebody if I don't like what they're doing, if something they're saying is bothering me. And if that person doesn't want to have that conversation with me or it changes the dynamic of our relationship afterwards, and that person's not meant to be in my life or we're not meant to have a friendship. But
Oh, that's good. That's interesting because I don't want to expose anything, but your sister is very good at that. So it's interesting that like you weren't. Your sister does that like all the time.
yeah, but the crazy thing about with that is my sister comes to me for advice on those conversations she has. She's very apprehensive about it.
Well, maybe because you give advice, but you can't like have the conversation yourself. That makes sense. That's not that crazy.
Yeah, well, I think another thing of it, and I'm not trying to make this sound like a gender thing or whatever, but I think just as a guy or just like as a boy, like growing
I'm
up,
offended.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm just kidding.
Um, I was always kind of felt like how I felt or what I had to say didn't really matter. Also because I was the oldest child, it was like, oh, you're the eldest, so you gotta be better. You can't be doing that. So because of reasons like that, I you know, wouldn't say certain things. I was apprehensive to speak.
But you're over it. You can do that now.
Yeah, I'm fine now.
Okay.
Like sometimes I need a little bit of time to process stuff, because emotionally we can react to something and it probably isn't the proper reaction. So sometimes I take a day or two, reflect, and I just
Yeah, yeah.
assess. You know,
That's mature, I feel
yeah,
like. Okay.
that's it.
All right. Well, so I found this personality test online and
Uh oh,
it's one that neither of us have done before, so it's going to be new for both of us.
it's our
Um,
first time.
yeah, so I didn't read it, so hopefully it's a good one. If it sucks, I don't know, we might cut this whole shit or we'll just go back to the cube test. Who knows? I don't know how many questions this is because I didn't look into this a lot, but anyway, let's just dive in because I don't want to like spoil it for myself because then I won't answer it truthfully, right? So,
Crazy.
okay, so imagine that you are going through the city and suddenly you see a lot of scary, crazy monsters. What do you think is the cause of their anger? They are hungry and looking for food. They seek their lost love. They have a temperament, or they are disappointed in the world.
Oh, run that back from the beginning.
Yeah, that's a good test, right?
That
Yeah.
was interesting.
Imagine you are going through a city and suddenly you see a lot of scary, crazy monsters. What do you think is the cause of their anger? They are hungry and looking for food. They are seeking their lost love. They have a temperament, or they are disappointed in the world.
For me, it would be C. They have a temperament.
Okay. So, looking at this question, My first inclination is also C, but I would love to answer D. They're disappointed in the world. But I'm not going to alter the test. I would love to say D, but it's definitely I would think C.
Okay, I'm writing down my answers on my phone.
Well, I'm writing yours too, so it's fine.
Okay.
Okay, so now you're going through an art gallery and you are relaxed. Your eyes will stop on one image. You look at it for a long time, surprised and fascinated. What kind of image is it? A self-portrait, a caricature, an abstraction, or a landscape?
Abstraction.
Okay. That's so weird. That's what I said. This is getting annoying. Okay. If you had a magic eraser that could erase everything, A, you would erase yourself. B, you would have wiped your beloved person. C, you would erase the third one.
Guess your third lover?
What? Why would you assume that?
I don't know, because it says your third one. What's the third one? Like, that's very vague.
I don't know. It says, yeah, you would erase yourself, you would have wiped your beloved person, or you would erase the third one.
I'm going to go with the third one.
Okay. So,
Even though I don't really know what it is, but whatever.
yeah, I'm not sure. Oh, my answer was myself. I would definitely erase myself. I didn't have to think about that.
I knew that already.
So
when I heard that question, I was like, this is where the split begins.
I don't even know where this personality test is going, but okay. So you are again in the same art gallery as before.
Okay.
Where you admire the image, the man standing next to you speaks to you. The words are, "What a beautiful picture, don't you think? How do you like this picture? Sorry, do you know what time it is? You know I painted this picture."
The fourth one. Do you know I painted this picture?
Okay. I like this test already, and I'm curious what the answers are, but if the answers aren't what I like, I'm going to be mad and not like this test. Okay.
Okay.
You are in a 5-star hotel in a room overlooking the blue sky. You cut a few hours of nap. What can you expect from a window when you wake up? Southern sun illuminating the blue sea, the dark blue sea in which the stars reflect, fog which covers the sea, or a sunset on the horizon.
A dark blue sea with the stars reflection.
Okay. Damn, I don't know how many questions there are.
Oh, good job.
You are in your living room when someone knocks on the door. Through the peephole, you see a stranger. You know that it's a technician. Who's that? Electrician, hydraulic, someone from air conditioning, computer, television technician.
Electrician. Cause I could fix stuff with the TV and computer. I don't need to call somebody for that.
That's what I was thinking, yeah. Oh, I forgot to answer these for the viewers too. I'm over here writing them down. Sorry.
Damn, you whack.
My bad. You out here not even giving a shit. All right. Wait, back to the picture one. The man standing next to me would have been like, "How do you like this picture?" Just because that's how all men try to start stupid conversations.
Wow. Fucking.
And then the hotel one. If I take a nap and I wake up to a sunset. And then the electrician also I saw because I would never call a hydraulic and I can fix my own air conditioner and computer. So anyway. So this is the next question. You're a superstar who's going to release a new album. What is the cover? A beautiful landscape, a picture from a cartoon, abstract image, something artistic, or your photo?
4.
Come on, CEO.
4. My photo.
Damn. I said the same thing. I would love to say C, but if I'm answering honestly, I would put a picture of me. So, yeah.
Don't stray away from trying to be different from me. It's okay. Don't be scared.
I answered that before you.
Embrace it.
Which part of the cake would you like to eat?
I'll tell you
The
right
strawberry
now.
part? Ew, pause. The strawberry part, the unattractive decoration, sweet edible decoration, the chocolate part, or E, the wafer, which is decorated with a cake?
I'm going to go with the wafer.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? He's trying to be different?
No one trying to be me.
Oh. Well, I said sweet edible decoration because hell yeah, sugar all day. Chocolate was an absolute no. So, anyway. Oh, that was it. Okay. That was it.
Oh, all right.
So, let's see. So now the answers, all right? So there was 8 questions and then we're going to go over the answers. All right, so the answers to 1. This question is about your dark side and the pressure you feel. So we chose C. So it says that we feel dissatisfied with our appearance. I feel like that's wrong, but now that I'm thinking about it, now I'm like, what don't I like about myself? And now I'm like, meh.
Yeah.
That's interesting because the answer to B, which neither of us chose, it says love is the main cause of stress and pressure in your life. And it's interesting that I didn't choose that because that's usually how my life goes. But
Yeah, I know. Hence how I met
oh, and you know how I said that I wanted to choose D, but if I'm being honest, I would choose C?
you. Mm-hmm.
D says you are a pessimist. That's actually way more accurate.
You are very pessimistic.
All right, anyway. So number 2, this question is related to your attractiveness and the characteristics of your personality. So we both chose C. That means we are creative. Okay.
Accurate.
I mean, B says you're sociable and have a sense of humor. Like, how is that not me? But okay. Just kidding.
I'm going to hold back my thoughts.
I mean, I guess this is how we perceive ourselves, not each other. So, okay. So we think we're creative. Okay. So the third question, this question will show you how you deal with love problems and what kind of love you have. So you chose C, and you're... So you love to solve any problems right away. So that fear that you just solved, it's doing you greatness.
Okay.
For me,
you like to run away from the problem, maybe. Let's
that's
see.
literally exactly what it says.
Yeah, see?
You always run away from problems. That's me.
Oh,
According to this questionnaire, which
I'm not going to say shit.
I disagree. Wow.
Don't say nothing.
Wow, you agree? That's insane.
I didn't agree. I plead the fifth.
You fucker. So number 4, this question means the way you react when you meet someone for the first time. Okay. So you chose D, so that means you are always upset when you meet someone new. You want to make a good impression.
Oh, that is not accurate at all. The fuck?
And I chose B, you will be conservative. Which is which is weird because the C option is you are independent, which doesn't really make sense to answer that question, but I disagree with that as well. So
Yeah, that question was whack.
okay. So number 5, this question symbolizes your expectations for love. So
Okay.
you answered B, which means you believe in the importance of honesty between lovers, which I hope would be everyone's answer.
That's facts.
My answer says
Oh, here
you
we
are
go.
looking for perfect love, ideal and romantic.
Shallow.
Wow. All right, so number 6, this question symbolizes a problem existing in your family that you are trying to ignore. Oh, shit. So we both chose A.
The electrician, right?
I don't remember. I just have the answers right here.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we both chose A. So a problem existing in your family that you are trying to ignore. A warm atmosphere that makes everyone want to talk to each other.
What's wrong with you?
That's funny to me. That's like the only accurate thing so far. Okay. Anyway, so number 7, this question is how you want others to see you. And this one we both chose D. So you think you are confident and like to be a leader. Okay.
I think
That's also accurate.
I think of all the answers I've heard tonight, besides the creativity, that's probably the most accurate one of us.
Yeah. It's funny because I don't remember the question, but if you chose A, it says you see yourself as a gentle and well-behaved man.
The fuck?
Anyway, that was the A answer to 7, so that's not us. Okay. And the last one is, this question is about your life attitude. So you chose E. So that says that you are affectionate, romantic, and always dreaming of a happy marriage.
I'm not gonna say nothing.
Mine is you care about others' feelings and emotions, but because you do not want to offend anyone.
That's kind of accurate for you.
Yeah, it is, because there's another one. D says you are reasonable, you are a born leader, but you love to control others, and that's absolutely not me. So, um, why the fuck are you laughing?
I'm joking.
Yeah, shut the fuck up. Anyway, that was cool. Okay, I mean that was cute. I
Yeah.
think I agreed with half of it, and the other half was complete nonsense. So,
Yeah, I agree. Some of it's just bullshit.
all right, but I mean that was a kind of cool test because I love the ones that don't ask like strongly agree, strongly disagree. Like this one actually had scenarios, and you're like, okay, let me think. So that was cute.
Yeah, I agree.
Do you want me to send you that now or no?
What, the personality test?
Yeah, the link.
Nah, it's all good.
All right. Anyway, so that was it. Hopefully you guys learned something about us. Hopefully we learned something about ourselves.
Yeah, definitely learned some stuff about each other. With that said, guys, I hope you guys stick with us. Continue with us on this journey. And
Yes, please listen to our other podcasts.
yeah, we have a lot of good talking points and things set up that we definitely want you guys to be a
Unique
part of.
opinions.
Yeah, definitely, and point of views, and we definitely have some interesting guests that have also been a part of it as well. So, yeah, I just can't wait to show you guys, more of the talking points.
Big things popping.
Yeah, and share these opinions with y'all, and hear what you guys think about it. Before I close out, Alexia, is there anything else that you want to say?
Because we did it in the middle, I want to do it again at the end. Please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube Behind the Struggle. My Instagram is at Lexia_Lou. My TikTok is at Asexia. And you can find all of Chris's social media and music actually on thisisceo.com. So please, YouTube Behind the Struggle, subscribe, follow, and share. Thisisceo.com and unbrand.com. unbrnd.com.
All right, y'all. Well, with that said, thank you for joining us tonight, and we'll hope to see you guys on the next episode. Until then, we'll catch you guys later. Peace.
Bye.